Good morning. My name is Annie Brazington, and I serve as the president-elect of the Board of Trustees of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spartanburg. Welcome to this place this morning. We strive to be a beloved community of warmth, of love, and of support across all of our differences. This is a welcoming congregation where everyone is welcome, just as you each are. If you are visiting with us this morning, we would love to meet you. We would also love to share more about the life of our congregation. Visitor cards can be found in the pocket of the back of the chair in front of you. Please feel free to fill one out and place it in the offering plate during the service so we can better connect with you. All right, couple announcements this morning. Number one, today there is a sound bath meditation at 4 p.m. here. Kimberly Hammond will offer a sound bath for those who'd like to attend. If you have not been, she is fabulous. It is relaxing, it is healing, it is meditative. It's wonderful. Highly recommend. So come, heal from sorrows, experience some peace, and you are invited to sort of renew some hope in a future that brings us all together. Announcement number 2. There is an art sale to benefit the Red Crescent in Gaza on Sunday, November 17th, next Sunday. After the service, join us for a charity art sale to benefit Red Crescent, providing medical aid to Palestinian refugees in need. Come find something that's beautiful for your home or as a holiday gift, and all of the proceeds are going to this respected humanitarian organization that is dedicated to delivering emergency medical services in that region. It is part of the International Red Cross and Red Crescent, and the artists are just contributing their work to support this event. So please see your Connect for more details. And last, but certainly not least, Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, boy is right, yes. So on Thursday, November 28th, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. in Wild Hall, come join us for a tasty Thanksgiving dinner hosted by Ruth Stanton and Rick Hannenberg. Ruth and Rick will bring the cooked turkeys. Thank you. And we hope that you will bring one of your favorite Thanksgiving dishes to share. Last year, anybody know how many people we had? Ooh, 58, yes. Some of you read. I love it. I appreciate that. There is a sign-up sheet on the whiteboard in the foyer, and you can email Rick and tell him what you plan on bringing if the sign-up is not quite your thing. So I look forward to seeing folks there. Thank you all for making this a place of warmth and welcome, always.
Good morning. I'm Mary Underwood, and I'm your worship associate this morning. I'm honored to be here with each of you today. It's been a hard week for many of us, and I love us coming together to share community and to be a force in this universe. Our lighting chalice reading is from Emma Lazarus, The New Colossus. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here at our sea-washed, sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep ancient lands your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Please join as you are able. Hymn number 95, There is More Love Somewhere.
is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere.
Wow, that was really perfect. Now, for one of our most treasured and sacred rituals, where we come together as a community to join in sharing whatever it is that each of us hold, whether it is to help hold us in moments of fear and sorrow and uncertainty, or whether it's in moments of robust joy and celebration and success. We're all full of all of those. So I invite you, as you are able and willing, to come forward and place a stone or a shell in the bowl to symbolize that which you wish to give over to this community to hold with you. And if for whatever reason you cannot, virtual or mobility issues, or choose not to come forward, please know that we hold everything that you need us to hold just as much. Just send it to us with your heart, and we will receive it with ours.
The morning dawns, the wind is calm, the sun's awake and brightly yawns. The music heard is sung by birds that sweetly sing good day. Upon the earth, life's full of mirth. We welcome in this new day's birth. Pure love unfolds, and every soul feels universal peace. Know that peace rings ever true. Know this sacred hymns for you. In this knowing, you will find universal of peace divine. The nighttime sky is filled with stars. The moonlight shines on restful hearts, and all the world's supremely calm. Sweet universal peace. We're blessed with perfect peace.
We are a congregation that honors no dogma. Instead, we honor a promise that we ourselves created and have made to one another, to ourselves, and to the world at large. This promise is even more important and more powerful than ever. Please join me as we say our covenant. With courage, we say, we are a people of faith and hope. Together, we covenant to strive to become our better selves, to honor both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to respond to systems of violence and oppression with the power of a love beyond belief. Now it is time for us to take this moment and embrace each other, whether that is literal or figurative. Know that many are feeling tender and especially need the little bit of love that we all have to share with one another today. And please, when you hear the music, please return to your seats. We've got a lot of really important stuff to talk about today.
You want me to get up now?
I'll play the music.
You want to do the
I'll do the music to make everyone sit down.
from the meet and greet, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, good. hello.
So now comes the time where we share our gifts. There's so many gifts in this room, and there's so many generous people willing and able to share those gifts. All of our gifts are important to the sustaining and supporting and helping this place grow. Now is the moment where we share the material gifts that are necessary in this world we live in to keep us strong and resilient and able to serve each other and this world in the ways that we want. We are share the plate, which is a part of our tradition where we share half of all loose money put in the plate and all designated money with another community aspect that needs help and resources. This month, we share it with the Converse University Valkyrie Supply. I don't know how many of you were here last year when the leader, the chaplain of this program showed up, but she spoke very eloquently about how many of our young college students don't have access to the very basic things that they need and how much they are trying to fill the holes that that community has. So please share what you can with a glad heart, and we appreciate all and everything that you give to this place.
You are the love of my life. Till the stars in heaven fall down from the sky, till the silent waters and the rivers all run dry. I will stand beside you through this whole life long, to love you and to be your shelter from the storm. You are the love of my life. Till the stars in heaven till the silent waters and the rivers all run dry. I will stand beside you through this whole life long, to love you and to be your shelter from the storm. And here I am, and here I'll stay. I will be your shelter, a shelter for your heart. I will be a harbor when the world is cold and dark. I will stand beside you through this whole life long, to love you and to give you shelter from the storm. Till the stars in heaven fall down from the sky, till the silent waters and the rivers all run dry. I will stand beside you through this whole life long, to love you and to be your shelter from the storm. And here I am, and here I'll stay.
People have been asking about the Band-Aid, and I thought about making a joke about cutting myself shaving, but it's an infection. Don't worry about it. Good morning. I hope you all have had a good week. Though if it's anything like mine, it's been a struggle. Before I get to my message today, that's weird to say, I would like to offer a disclaimer, just so we're clear about where I stand. Regardless of how you voted on Tuesday, I value your freedom to choose who you think is best for whatever office. And while I always urge others to consider impact before intention when deciding who to be in this world, I trust that the people of this congregation genuinely care for me and would never wish me harm, even when they don't understand why or how I am who I am. However, I can't ignore that one party in this election ran their campaign heavily on an anti-trans narrative, a narrative full of intentional lies and unfounded fear to, quote unquote, eradicate our ability to be ourselves in our public lives. I also can't ignore that members of another party are already withdrawing their support for trans, non-binary, and gender expansive people like me to match that energy, assuming this is the reason they lost so many votes. The message we are receiving from our government, that many groups are receiving, is we don't matter. We don't belong. And if I may say, like hell we don't. A big reason I wanted us to focus on belonging this month is I was frustrated. And what I'm frustrated with is entirely unintentional on the part of folks who want very much to support marginalized communities. It's this idea of inclusion. I understand the premise, and that premise is good. However, the word include has an underlying implication that whatever it is being included exists on the outside of the group. That it is other than the group. When we think of a group or individual as other, it can be very easy to separate ourselves from them when the fight gets hard or advocacy becomes inconvenient. It is very easy to say, maybe we shouldn't prioritize them right now. Maybe it's not a good time. If we are to practice beloved community to its fullest manifestation, we must live in the reality that the other does not exist. There is no them, only us, together.
Good morning. So I come from a long line of freedom chanters, and I think about my ancestors making use of the freedom chant, both to have strategy, to know when to leave a place, to know to escape, to know who to follow, to know to get into the water because perhaps you're being chased. So the freedom chant is not just about singing or just about music or the stereotype that you know they like to sing. It's a purpose. And so this morning I wanted to share a little bit of freedom chant with you all. Definitely been holding myself and my community through it this week and want to be able to share in this greater space. Faith, I think what you shared was so kind. And the fact that you were kind in your sharing was very beautiful. So thank you for sharing that because you didn't owe us that. You don't owe us that. So there's some beings at the bottom of the ocean. I know, right? Like at the bottom that we've never seen. And when we get a glimpse, they've been able to create their own light. So they didn't need the light of the sun. Somehow they generated it. So we too have the ability to be our own light. It doesn't necessarily mean the darkness is going to go away, but we have the ability. So today, I'm going to share this little light of mine. And as we do, you sing along if you like, or think about your power to be the light wherever you are. It doesn't have to be huge light, right? Just a little teeny weeny one. And when we put them all together, they make a space for us to see our way forward. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank y'all.
Faith and Devlin, thank you so much. Faith is a member of our congregation and an intern in a program that we are an affiliate of, one of several congregations that are part of a project called LGBTQ Theologies, the point of which is to foreground the spiritual leadership of LGBTQ plus people here. Faith, thank you for your leadership. And Davlin Hill is the executive director of Speaking Down Barriers, an organization that we've been partnered with for a long time, that brings people together to build community across our differences, the strategy of ending all forms of oppression, and also honoring the humanity of every person, no matter who they are, no matter what they think. All of us has value. And Davlin is a major collaborator with LGBTQ Theologies as well. Thank you so much, Davlin. I love you all.
We love you.
Share silence with me. Sanctuary. I want to begin today and praise the leadership of Black women in our country. This week has been many things for many people. The women who are Black with whom I have spoken this week have been devastated by the outcome of the election. These women are very often the leaders who hold together our families and our communities, our organizations, giving so much more of themselves for the well-being of us all in a way that is not fair, not just, and never fairly compensated. And yet, we owe so much. And at this moment, whatever all of this means and whatever else comes, the rejection of black female leadership on a national scale is terribly painful. So I want to ask us now to bring to mind those black women who have led us in our lives. Family members, friends, neighbors, fellow congregants, teachers, leaders of so many kinds. Just think of this congregation in the South Side neighborhood of Spartanburg, South Carolina, and our years-long collaboration with the Neighborhood Association here, and the historical leadership of this neighborhood on a local and statewide level, all black women trying to show us a future where we can all thrive, and how much their leadership and partnership with our congregation has given us life and shaped our direction. So to begin, give thanks for these women to whom we owe so much. Bring them to mind and heart now. His brilliant book that becomes more and more relevant with every passing year, The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. Baldwin calls our country into the work of mutual liberation. That we are all enmeshed in a situation that entraps, and we have to work to set each other free. One of the startling images that he uses in this book is of where white folks turn when they have lost everything in their life and been rejected by the white community because of their failure. Baldwin says that's when white folks come to the black community to look for help, and they get it. When we think about the kind of country we want to build, the kind of people that we want to be, black community and other marginalized communities show us what it is to receive every person, whatever they need, and to help them find it. That is leadership. To show again and again that we can create a place of belonging for every person so that everybody can make a life. In 1830, the Indian Removal Act was passed in this country to facilitate the mass deportation of indigenous people from the southeastern United States across the Mississippi River. I don't know why anyone would hold Andrew Jackson up as an ideal president. He is the forebearer of mass deportation. And the Trail of Tears began in the mountains just north of us, North Carolina and Tennessee and Georgia. A group of the Cherokee people fled deeper into the mountains to find refuge, to find sanctuary, to escape that deportation. Some people who owned private land in those mountains gave them haven, a place to live, until slowly, a homeland was established in the eastern band of the Cherokee, recognized as their own sovereign people on that land from which so many of them had been forced. One of the beautiful things about immigration to this country from the South is that indigenous people from the South and North American continents follow paths of migration 10,000 years old. And as these indigenous people travel north into what is now only very recently become the United States, they re-inhabit land from which their indigenous siblings were forced. On Wednesday, a man dear to my heart and dear to the heart of many in this congregation, whose status in this country is legal, but will almost certainly be attacked and revoked next year. Moved from a place where he felt in danger to set foot on that sovereign Cherokee land, to feel just for a few hours on that most vulnerable day for him the feeling of freedom and of refuge, a small place of sanctuary when he feels his country turning against him. In the 1990s, this congregation weighed whether it would become a welcoming congregation, a place not only of inclusion, but of full partnership, being together for folks from the LGBT plus community and folks unlucky enough not to be from that community. And when that congregation studied and did research, this congregation studied and did research to consider formally becoming a welcoming congregation, right then, the height of the AIDS epidemic and the scapegoating of gay men in our country, the folks who were here realized that vote might not pass. Wasn't certain it would pass here. And so they decided to just delay that vote and do more research to give it more time. And a few years later, when the vote was taken, it passed with enormous support. Creation of sanctuary, of refuge and belonging. It's not easy work, because it involves all of ourselves, our light and our shadow. And we may find that as we try to create it, we're not doing the best job that we can, that we're worried we may fall short. And the work then is to redress and try again, to go deeper into who we are and who we know we can be, to make space for mutuality, for you and for me both, so that we can both be free. Because when we create space for one another that is real, where we finally both belong, and energy emanates out beyond us to the wider world. This congregation celebrating its choice to be welcoming began to advocate for a Pride March and Festival in the upstate. And both in Greenville and in Spartanburg, they were met with rejection. City leaders who said, it's not time, that's not what we want. No belonging. And so this brazen little congregation, devoted to being a place where we each can be in our full selves together, started the Upstate Pride March and Festival out in that ridiculously small parking lot that you all have overcrowded today. And last weekend, people from across 5 upstate counties flooded into Barnett Park and poured out over the boundaries of the park, celebrating once again pride in the upstate. Not one counter-protester that I could see on the whole march route. Sanctuary is to give us safety and place, to affirm one another's being so that we can be. But when we create it, it does not stay here. It moves out. In his book, Harvest of Empire, Juan Gonzalez talks about how our practices of deportation have created enormous situations of violence in the nations to our south, creating an increasing need for people to seek refuge north, a vicious cycle of deportation and violence requiring immigration. Not to speak of the way that our own economy depends on the labor of people coming to feed us, people without whom we would not eat. We will face the question of whether we can create a place of safety and belonging for people who have come to our country seeking hope, seeking refuge, seeking resource for their families, seeking sanctuary. On Wednesday evening, we gathered a small circle of chairs here and invited anyone who would like to come to just be with each other, share silence and music, share place. Throughout the day, Anne and Virginia and I took turns being in this room, preparing for that time on Wednesday night. And person after person came into the space, some to talk, some to vent, some to cry, some to console. Dozens upon dozens of people, some from this congregation, and many not. Some I have no idea how they got the message. But people shared word that there would be a place for them. And they came into this space. In a world where we are consumed by our phones and busy with our lives and hardly stop to talk with each other, people sat in comforting silence with each other for hours, just speaking a sentence or two here, a word or two there, and otherwise just being with each other in this space. Beautiful and powerful sanctuary for whoever needed to come. And as people spoke, we realized not all views were the same. Some people's understandings of each other were quite stark and different than we might have assumed. But the gathering was one of love and comfort, of belonging, a place of deep beauty and peace. And at the end of that evening, everyone who had come to touch that beauty and peace went back out those doors to take that to the world. There's a third book that I want to share with you today. It's a book that's caused a lot of trouble for many of us, for people all around the world. It's a collection of Hebrew scriptures, Hebrew national literature. With a book like this, you have to be careful. A lot of the justification for the destruction of Gaza comes out of a reading of this book as nationalist literature. It can be very violent, very destructive. And we need to look at that with a realistic eye and know it for what it is. And in our own families, in our own lives, there are things written here that are deeply damaging, caused many of us a lot of pain. And I want you to hear it from me, somebody who loves this book, but who I hope sees it realistically. The things here that cause hurt and pain, you can throw them out the door. You don't have to give that any time, because your being is the proof of your value. You're beautiful just in yourselves. There is one passage here that I have found very meaningful this week and that I want to share with you. It comes from a poem in these pages. And it goes like this. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, because you are with me. When we create sanctuary, when we honor the leadership of women whose leadership has been denigrated, when we consider the deep history of indigenous people on our continent, all that they have given us, and that they just are seeking a place to be in the world. When we think of the way the whole world erupts into color when we celebrate Pride, to tell us that there is belonging for all of us in the beautiful diversity of life, we are being reminded that our work is to be with one another. I don't know what the future holds. I don't expect that we will all agree with each other, and that's not required. But in this place, our job is very clear. We must do the work of creating sanctuary for every being. Every person belongs no matter who they are, just because they are. And when we do that work, no matter how dark the valley, we need fear no evil. The love of this place is for all of us. And when we leave here, it goes out those doors to help a world walking through shadow as well.
For our extinguishing of the chalice, we will do the loving kindness meditation. Join me as you wish. We begin by expressing love for ourselves. May I be free of suffering. May I be at peace. May I know the joy of my own true nature. May I be healed. May I be a source of healing for all others. May I know love. We then express love for those for whom we care. May you be free of suffering. May you be at peace. May you know the joy of your own true nature. May you be healed. May you be a source of healing for all others. May you know love. We express love for those who we find difficult in small ways and in large. May you be free of suffering. May you be at peace. May you know the joy of your own true nature. May you be healed. May you be a source of healing for all others. May you know love. And finally, we express love for all beings. May we be free of suffering. May we be at peace. May we know the joy of our own true nature. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing for all others. May we know love.
I love you all. I know that you do. I know that you do. And when I say this, like a call and response. I love you. You love me. We strive to make this a place where we know that. And then we take it out there.